Welcome back inside the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center here on this beautiful October Sunday. We are here for the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. J.J. Evison, Drew Ebanks, Sydney Holmes on the call. This battle between CIA's Grind Squad against the Royal Crown Lions. And this one, we're looking forward to the point guard matchup between Justice Hazley and Jordan Charles. This is a marquee matchup.
Huge matchup. I mean, these 2 point guards getting it done, got it done for various teams, Team Ontario, Canada basketball, just, quintessential point guards. When I look at Jordan Charles, it reminds me of, a couple players. One particular, Tyler Ennis, like he just looks exactly, has a similar game. It's going to be fun to watch those guys go at it.
And a big matchup as well between Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe, number 6 in Royal Crown's white jerseys, against number 1 Paul Osari in number 1 in red. First shot is a deep three, last touched by Royal Crown. Shot from the hands of Sartaj Bangu.
No good on that one. Let's see.
High pressure to start here for Royal Crown.
Lyris Robinson was one of the MVPs yesterday in Grind's win over Houghton Prep. They won 107-75, shot 20 more free throws than Houghton Prep, so they can get to the line moving downhill. Bangu kicks it out. Hazley, 3 is up off the front of the iron. Osari with the rebound.
I know over the fall showcase, we had the privilege of talking to Hazley. One of the big things that he actually found that he was excited for this season, minus stepping out of bounds, which I know was a major problem from last game. And that's one, I'll keep it running count, don't worry about it. But Ice Tolman Monroe, with his height, coming all the way from Australia at 7'1", Hazley said one of the biggest things is being able just to dish it. If he knows if he's going up and he's getting blocked, he has Ice Tolman Monroe just to kind of dish it off to for the easy putback.
Well, here are the two in a pick and roll situation, but guarded well by the Grind. Jordan Charles kicks it out. Extra pass, top side three. In and out rebound underneath the Grind.
Wow.
Good rebound by Jules Asim. He'll go to the free throw line shooting 2, and already the Grind at the charity stripe.
A little bit of a correction, I'll say, for Ice Tolman Monroe. He has the height. I don't want to see him just stand up. He still needs to box out a little bit too. But on that one, you saw his hands were up and he was just jumping up on his tippy toes. It's like, I'm going to do that naturally if I'm shorter than you. I need to box you out, but also if he does that, it's just going to be astronomical for his game because he already has the height down low.
I always say on the rebounds, the players got to turn, stick their butt out, hands up, and they'll get those rebounds 90% of the time.
Jordan Charles corrals the missed shot from the hands of Paul Osari, the 6'9" center, 2027, so 2 more years.
Yeah.
High school basketball for Paul.
Paul is just a beast.
And he's already this good.
He is an absolute beast.
Hazley gives it up to Cairo Perry. The handoff to Bangu, now back to Hazley, top side. Wants the screen from Ice Tolman Monroe. Picks up the ball.
Good defense there.
Great defense by Jordan Charles in this matchup. It's definitely the one that we're watching. Jordan Charles, Justice Hazley. Cairo Perry gets it down inside the paint, elevates, uses the backboard for 2.
Cairo's a key player for them too. I mean, he can get up, he's going to catch the lobs, but his ability to get to the hoop in this game and be a factor is going to take some of the pressure off of Hazley in this one.
Charles around the screen, elevates for the 3, misses everything, and that's not typical of Jordan Charles. Great vision on the court, good shooter, tenacious on defense. Ice Tolman Monroe goes for the jam, but coming back for the block, Jules Asim.
I don't know if the warm-up was a little bit short. It seemed like, the game turnaround from the previous game 1 was quite quick. We'll see, how it's going to look for these guys early on, because as you said, that shot there by Jordan coming up way short could be a telltale sign that they needed maybe a few more minutes.
Nearly 2 minutes played here in the 12 p.m. tip-off at the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. It is 3-0. Make that 4-0 for the Lions.
And on that play there, if what he's got to work on is a quicker explosion. because that should have been a dunk and one. He was wide open. You got to get up quick and bang that. You might not be able to take your full wind up, but you got to bang that quicker.
Charles finds Mayom on a baseline cut. The 6'7" center, 2027 Australian.
Look at that play. Bounce pass right on the baseline. You don't see that enough nowadays from point guards.
Hazley kicks it out to Bangu off the mark. Rebound, Osari.
And a foul.
Cairo Perry takes the foul 90 feet away from his own basket, trying to go for that offensive rebound. He was the only white jersey in that paint.
Yeah, you don't want to foul down there. You know, you need those fouls. Luckily, we're playing 6 fouls.
Yes.
But it's still an unnecessary one. They got the rebound. Just get back on defense.
Lyrus Robinson gives it up to Charles. Again, baseline cut. Mayom can't corral it.
It's always funny to think the evolution of Canadian basketball. But you got 2 players, Mayom, and then you got Ice Tolman Monroe, both from Australia, to come and play for teams. One is in the American team and then one is kind of in the Canadian league. But it's funny how they both came halfway across the world to compete at these high-level basketball. It honestly just shows the level that we have not only in Canada but in the States as well.
Everybody wants to be closer to North America, right? That's where the big money is. That's where all the attention is for basketball. If you're playing soccer, you're going to go to Europe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
If you're playing hockey, you're going to come to Canada into OHL, right?
And you talked about it, getting the playing time and getting on the court and the intangibles that brings. And you see a guy like Ifeosa Oliogu goes down to the States, but comes back for his senior year. He's going to get a lot more eyes on him. He's getting a lot more run with William Academy, who we'll see a little bit later tonight against Canyon International Academy's Nike team.
Yeah, Fosa, he's going to actually probably make a decision for his school looking like probably December, late November, early December. So look out for that as well. That's huge. For him to come back from playing downstate, and coming back here, it's a treat for Canada to be able to see him before he makes his decision.
Jordan Charles is stuck on Hazley. I think that's probably something that was talked about well before this game. It's like, you do not lose him. And even when he was going back to talk to the head coach, Hazley, he was on him, stuck on him.
Bangu with a couple of long strides into the paint, looking for Ice Tolman Monroe down low. Last touched by the grind.
Got to set your team up for success. Ice Tolman Monroe, the best case if he did catch the ball is he was going to look to do maybe a reversal, but there's no good positioning for him down that low.
What's crazy to me is it was a chest pass. When you got a 7-1 guy, if you keep hands in the air, a little push off there, got away with it. Grind out the other way. Charles, it's a 3-on-2. Charles bounce pass. Near side, off the backboard, no second chance opportunity. Mayom ties the game. Hazley, a little shiftiness, taking it all the way himself. Gets contact up top, coming down hard was Jules Asim, and now grabbing his right leg. He looks to be in a little bit of pain there.
Oh boy.
Taking on the challenge of meeting Hazley up top. Especially with the speed at which he was coming down that court with.
Hazley's just a complete point guard. Arguably the best in the country that's playing here, even in Canada. He can shoot the 3 too. That's why he's so dangerous. You said Charles is not leaving him open because he can hit that open 3. And that's, usually for point guards, that's not really an automatic thing that you think about. But for Hazley, he can do it inside and outside. He can get to the 10, 3-level scorer right there. One of the best players we have in this country.
Asim's going to take a seat on the bench, giving way to Balaji Odarlino, number 24 in red.
Look at the length we have on the court these days.
Hazley misses the first free throw. To get our first look at TJ Richards, number 8 in white for the Lions as he steps onto the court, along with Kimani Walters, number 4 in white. Charles on the near side working on Hazley. First step gets by. Corner 3 is wide open. That one doesn't fall. Hazley has teammates ahead of him. Kimani Walters, two-handed jam.
You knew that was coming. He can get it done. He's such a crafty player. He's tough. Look at him physically. He's very imposing, especially defensively.
Osari with the turnaround, Jimmy, no. Rebound fought for, corralled by the grind. Charles now on Hazley. Not a lot of action off the ball. Charles moving downhill, gets some separation. Doesn't get the shot to go. Hazley's ahead of the pack. Hazley, no mistake on the layup.
You can't turn your back on him for a second because, Drew, as you said, he's so fast that the second you turn your back, he's gone. He's already halfway down the floor already.
Coaches love him. I mean, he just does it all.
Lyris Robinson loses it. The ball's given up, and it's another easy jam. That one by Yana Feely.
Jan is a player, Ottawa area player. Or was it Montreal, I think, actually. My bad. He's a player that I love to watch, number 9 for Royal Crown. Watch him today. This is a great matchup for him going against Mr. Big Paul.
Steps inside, blocked, and out on the run. Feely comes up with the block, wanted that run out. Unfortunately, the Lions couldn't corral the loose ball to kick it ahead.
I understand Iceman Monroe wanted the block on that one, but I wouldn't jump. Because again, or if you are going to jump, you have to make sure that there's someone available in help defense, and there wasn't at that time. So just a little bit of a correction, I would say, on defense.
Mikhailo Lipka checks in for the Lions, number 3 in white. He has the ball up top on the wing now. Hands it off to Hazley. Hazley, deep 3. In front of the iron. Feely with the second chance opportunity. It doesn't go. Robinson now out in transition, taking it into the paint, uses the backboard, and Lyris Robinson is 2 points. He's got 9 NCAA offers, including Mississippi State and Oakland, so he's got some decisions to make as well.
We talked about how a lot of these players are now having the opportunity to still be playing in high school, have maybe a year or 2 years left, and yet they have the opportunity to be given such amazing Division I offers. And it's interesting because at such a young age, to be able to make a decision for yourself that could really kind of change the rest of your life. I know there's always been some discussions on should you go to a roster that has maybe a long history of winning championships? Should you go to a team where you know you can be immediately effective on the floor? But it's hard when you're this young to be able to make such a strong decision. So I think the nice thing is when you have coaches who have the experience on your team that are able to kind of guide you to those decisions, because it's not a common thing to be getting multiple Division I offers at such a young age.
The thing about it now, too, is that there's the transfer portal. There's
Yes.
NIL money. And it used to be, you know, maybe back in 2014 or when Jamal Murray left to go to Kentucky, you get the big draw of John Calipari, the head coach there. But now the head coaching scene in the state,
They're leaving a lot of these coaches too, because the dynamics of the game has changed. Everybody's looking for that NIL, and it's kind of changing the control and power of these big coaches.
Hazley drains the 3. They're going to discount it. Offensive foul is going to go on Mikhailo Lipka. Moving screen. So take the 3 off the board. It's 13-8. Royal Crown lead CIA grind. 4:12 remaining in the opening quarter. Here at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center. J.J. Evison, Drew Ebanks, Sydney Holmes on the call. Paulo Sarri. 1-2 step and hands off. Gets it back just inside the 3-point line off the iron. Rebounded. Knocked up. And Hazley has it. Eyes up. Left-handed, nice pass, up and under, fouled on the way up was Kimani Walters. He goes to the free throw line for 2.
He knows how to play the game. I mean, he's undersized, Kimani, but he just knows how to play the game. He's so physical, so tough. Any team would want him on their squad, and he's fearless. That's one thing about him. He'll go up against anybody.
So Hazley's going to head to the bench for a break alongside Yana Feely. Coming in, Marcus Green, number 1 in white, along with Levi Molotowski, the 3-point shooter, number 20.
I will say good on for Walters. A lot of people in that situation would have maybe turned their focus to the net, assuming that Hazley was going to go for the layup. But smart on him to realize that Hazley's a playmaker too. So if he sees the opportunity, he's going to give it to you. He doesn't necessarily have to be looking at you to see you. So that was a fantastic play, and he's headed to the line now for the final shot. Unsuccessful on the first one, but got the second.
1 for 2 on the trip. Grind out and running. Moving downhill. The shooter in the corner was headed baseline. The pass was intended for where he was from Amari Upshaw.
Yeah, not a good play there. Thought the offensive player was going to be in the corner. Not there. I felt he was deep enough in the paint. He should have maybe tried to look to get that ball up and go for the score.
TJ Richards working on the far side against DeAndre Hamilton, former Oakville Prep player. Now playing in Phoenix, Arizona. Whip pass outside. Stepping out of bounds, Lipka, turnover.
I think that's 2 now for the game. And
Got one
8
in this
the other
corner.
game.
Yes.
Sydney, keep
2
a
for
tally.
this, 2 for, no, 3 because we've already had another one, and then 8 for the other game.
Holy.
Upshot.
I mean, I'm hoping for a bit of a correction. I'll give them the first quarter to kind of get well adjusted.
Yeah, but when they're doing it in the third and the fourth,
Not
that's kind of
acceptable.
worrisome.
Lyris Robinson kicks it to the corner, in a little bit of trouble. Lasari trying to use the backboard there, no good. Molotowski with the rebound. Turned over, Paul Lasari has one to beat. Elevates, uses the glass, thought about the throw down there. It was a little further away from the rim than maybe he wanted to be after picking up that ball prematurely. Lions ahead by 4. Out of bounds, tally up to 4 for the game. Right in front of your own bench, too.
Can we add that to your stats,
Let's
JJ?
go.
Can we add that? We'll forget rebounds. We're talking out of bounds. Go 1 for each team, too. That way we can tally that up and see.
So the Royal Crown have 3 to the Grind's 1.
We're good, folks. We got this. This stat is going to be added to stats.
The out of bounds
That's
stats.
you need.
A lot of these players, by the way, they're passing the eye test. Their stats might not show up on the stat sheet, you know, as eye-popping stats, but they're really passing that eye test in terms of athleticism, ability to read the game, court awareness is the one thing that seems to be the topic of conversation, at least here early on day 2. Shots go up. There's something going on with the shot clock. We'll get that looked at.
Almost turned over there.
Walters down inside. Lipka working on one. Patience, elevates, no. Grind out and on the run. DeAndre Hamilton takes it, no. Last touched by the Lions, so the Grind have possession. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Jordan Charles checking back in.
Yeah, he took a break early, Charles. He's back on, but Justice Hazley's still on the bench. We'll see how long Coach DeGiorgio waits to get Hazley back in the game now that Charles is in.
And we see number 2 in red, Jules Sim, checking back in as well. Remember, he hit the deck hard and had to leave the game with the left ankle injury. Good to see him back. Deep 3 off the back of the iron. Rebounded well and put back up that time. Isaac Gonda, no. Gonda's got Charles behind him, instead takes the Jimmy from the elbow. That falls.
Rebounded well because there was no box out by Richards down on the baseline. He didn't even turn to find the guy. You got to do that. These are small things that are big factors.
Richards found a lane, but Jordan Charles stripped him before he could get to the rack.
Out of bounds.
So 1:19 remaining in the first quarter, a 2-point game, a very back and forth game here. No one has really caught fire yet.
Both teams are also very evenly matched in terms of the players that they have at their disposal. So I think honestly where we're going to see a bit of a shift is what team is able to execute their offensive rotation better than the other, because they're both fast, they both have height down low. It's really going to be who can execute the fundamentals of their play better than the other at this point.
Whip pass far side, back up and under, tough bucket, DeAndre Hamilton.
That's nice. I like that. DeAndre can score. I've seen him drop 40 points in a game with ease.
Walters pull up Jimmy. Out ahead of everybody else, Gonda corrals the pass, one extra pass inside. Didn't like the look, pulling it back out was Hamilton. Upshaw. Charles has it near side, using the screen, gets to the elbow, fading away. Nylon for Jordan Charles.
A smooth Mr. Charles.
It's just so fluid. It's like you could tell it's just second nature at that point. Like he already knows it's going in before it leaves his hands.
Shot clock's turned off, 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Charles is going to take it the whole way, off the backboard and through. And now CIA Grind lead by 2, under 10 seconds. Walters loses the handle, picks it up, is in some trouble. Charles out the other way, has plenty of time and space. Jamal.
I really think Jordan Charles, and there's a few NBA caliber players in here, I really think he has a shot to be in the NBA. He reminds me of a Tyler Ennis, like I said, but I think he's got a little more intangibles defensively, a little bit stronger at that age. But he is a player that I'm looking to be in the NBA in a few years. He's just got it all. Playing for Canada has also enhanced his stature and his ability to not only find guys, but you see it, he can throw down at the point guard position as well.
You talk about statistics too, naturally, because we have all these players and all these teams. Very few of them are actually going to end up making it to that NBA level. So you have to look at moments like these, and Charles is showing that he has the ability to play at not only a fast pace, but he has versatility. He can slam the ball down, he can become a playmaker when necessary, but he's versatile on both sides of the floor, and that's something that when you get to the next level you have to have, because everybody's good. Everybody will have that natural instinct and that natural talent, but his ability to do it at such a high level and on a consistent basis, as we've seen, is what's going to allow him to have a strong career here in basketball.
He opened the Canadian National Championship 17U tournament in August with a 33.9 steal performance. He led them, 9 steals. He led his team to gold, one of 4 gold medals for Team Ontario at the Canadian National Championships. So not only can he play the game at a high level, but his leadership is something that schools are going to love, and it's just going to help him blossom into a great player.
He's a great young man too, you know. I know his mom as well. She's always a huge supporter, but he's so respectful. You know, even when you see his posts on social media, he's thanking the whatever tournament he's in for hosting or playing for Canada. He's saying, you know, I'm so grateful to be able to play for Team Canada or Team Ontario. Just the way he carries himself is incredible.
Hamilton goes up with 2 hands and throws it down. And Michael DeGiorgio, head coach, wants a timeout, not impressed with the first 18 seconds of the second quarter. Meanwhile, CIA Grind's energy is infectious here at the Toronto Pan Am Center. Defense leading to offense.
That was a fantastic dunk. Something I will say, though, again, because you can kind of get, you celebrate and everything like that, but the coaches that are on the sideline are saying, get back still, because there's still a game to be played, right? I'm not taking anything away. I think that was fantastic, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that in this game and this tournament alone. But instinctually, fantastic dunk, get back into playing, right?
My favorite celebration is no celebration.
Exactly, and you know, it's funny because we see Charles, even on his dunk, he celebrated for a second, and then he was right back in guarding the defender for the inbound, right? But as you mentioned, that's just, it's a little tweak that's going to allow them to just be stronger, more than they already are showing so far. But the fact that they're able to play at such a high level and as consistent as we're seeing, it starts from the leadership that we've seen from Charles, and it's honestly trickling down into the entire roster right now.
Can Royal Crown get the 2-person game going between Justice Hazley and Ice Tolman Monroe? That's what we really want to see, is how they're going to work in that pick and roll situation. Turning the corner there, Andy Gameo, far side. Marcus Green into the paint. Ice Tolman Monroe absorbs some contact while shooting, so 2 free throws upcoming for the 7-1 Aussie.
Nice play there. Marcus got the ball, looked and saw his big man inside, and he got it up strong. They had to foul him.
Green might not have the height, but he sure has the girth and the size to play in that paint. Want to see him get a little physical here in the second quarter.
That's the only thing we didn't see in the fall showcase from Ice Tolman Monroe was the physicality, right? He has the natural given height and the ability. He's going to get boards, but if he had that physical stature to be able to just bump a few guys down low, it's just going to add a lot more to his game.
Yana Feely comes away with 2 offensive rebounds that led to that opportunity for Gameo, who misses, but right back to the free throw line are the Lions.
Yeah, aggressive there. You know, I like the take, going the left side, and I saw the opening and went strong and aggressive. And 9 times out of 10, when you go strong to the hole, you're going to get the refs to respect that attempt and that effort, and you're going to get the foul.
Oh, sorry, checking back in for CIA Grind. That sends Jules Asim to the bench.
Sub come in, make his free throw.
Two for 2 on the trip. And here's Charles working on Hazley, near side. Screen set by Osari, can't handle the pass. Bouncing around, last off the head of Gameo and out of bounds, so the Grind have the ball side out. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. 10-minute quarters, 30-second shot clock, 6 fouls in this hybrid situation. Charles top side. Swing, swing, stepping out of bounds. Let's
What do we
jot
got?
that one down on the grind.
It's 2 for the grind now. That's what?
A total of 5.
We're gonna have to post that on social media. I'm telling you, man, that is just hilarious.
I mean, as of right now, they're catching up to the previous game we just watched because they had a total of 8 at the end of the game.
Right. We've got what, 5 already
5
in the
already.
second quarter?
Jamal gets it back. Pulls up from 3, front iron. And that's going to be last touched by Yana Feely, who was, I think his head was well above the rim.
Yeah.
Talk about getting up.
Charles over the timeline. Lyris Robinson, left hand, taking it. Tries to get it over the big man, Tillman Monroe, but stopped. Jamal. Green, corner, shooter, wide open. Feely into the paint, back out for Green. Moving downhill, trying to Euro step, left hand, Noah. Feely's there for the rebound. Picks up the dribble, top side. Creating a little bit of holes in the grind defense. In the grind, unable to get a defensive rebound. Tillman Monroe from the free throw line. 3 straight offensive rebounds for the Lions, resulting 2 points. It's a 1-point game. Lions trail. Jordan Charles off the mark.
Great hustle by Royal Crown. Ooh.
The presence of DeAndre Hamilton forced Hazley into a travel.
Sometimes it's just the thought of having a defender in your general area is going to force you to make mistakes you would normally make.
That was a great play because, yeah, he just kind of was there. It's like, oh, where'd this guy come from?
He essentially just ran right by him. He's like, either way, I'm going to force you to kind of do something.
Uncharacteristic turnover there by Justice Hazley. He's got to get off. Paul's got to get off in this game. There it is.
Just walks into a 2-pointer. That's just shooting practice.
Osprey can get it done, man.
Yana Feely coughs it up. Here on the near side, Hamilton stripped by Hazley. Hazley head up the whole way. Has a Feely looking for the lob, going to keep it himself off the backboard, and a Feely there to clean up the glass.
Oh, that an assist?
That's an assist. That's not an assist. That's not an attempt. So it takes away the assist.
I'm trying to give it to him any way I can, you know. It was just a fancy pass off the backboard.
Osarui off the mark. Jordan Charles keeps it alive. Hamilton, deep 3. Yes.
That was a clean assist. Nice
He can
backboard
cook.
pass.
That young man could cook. Barbecue chicken, they call that.
6'3" guard in his senior year, looking for some offers.
Was down in the States, is back, you know, down there. Came back to Canada, then back down. Nice.
Yana Feely has put his fingerprints all over this first half.
I love watching him play. He just gets it done. Does whatever the team needs. Huge pickup for them this year.
I think Royal Crown basketball and like selfless basketball are synonymous, right? It's all about the team.
It's a professional outfit. They go about things. Chris Exelis right there. You know, Mike DeGiorgio, obviously, St. Mike's, Oakwood, you know what I mean? U of T, like they do things right. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's never too early to instill winning professional habits into these
St.
players.
Mike, I just meant Oakwood. He's an Oakwood guy. Yeah, you know, you start young. You start a professional, the way you have an attitude of how your team carries itself and your organization. Royal Crown does it to a high level.
Hazley and Tillman Monroe on the 1-2 game. The shovel pass too low. Again, we're trying to get the pass underneath some hands instead of throwing it over the top to Tillman Monroe.
It's also, you look at the benefit of having these kinds of programs because the learning curve is just extra, it's just a lot less than when they go to the next level because they're already used to practicing however many hours during the day. They go to school, then they come back. Like, they're already used to it now, so when they go to the next level, they're just going to be that much better.
Hamilton gets around the first level of defense, but quick hands by Hazley knocked that out of bounds.
I like that play on the previous bucket there. He just sealed his defender underneath. That should never happen. It should never happen if you're on defense.
An open lane, giving it up, going to count the basket on the goaltend. Good for Andy Gamal, and that time, Hazley's going to get the assist.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Looked up, you know, saw him wide open, got the layup, and look at the score right now.
It's a 2-point game in favor of the Lions.
What a turnaround.
Looking to be the first team to take down a Canyon International Academy squad who are up here for the weekend. 3 CIA teams. We just saw the Bella Vista squad take down Brampton City Prep. Last touched by number 23 in red, Robinson. The Lions have a chance to add to their lead here. 5:42 remaining in the second quarter at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center. It is the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. Day 2.
A little shaky on the inbounds there.
Hazley keeps, pulls from 3. Nylon for Hazley.
Must be nice as a point guard, you know, as a coach, you got a point guard who can do that.
Robinson working around the screen from Asari. Back down inside the paint, elevates, uses glass, doesn't go. Asari with the rebound. He'll miss, but go to the free throw line for 2. And his body language just tells you he's a little frustrated with his game right now.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's used to getting off. Looks like he maybe took a shot to the midsection there.
Yeah, asking for a quick second to regain his breath.
Or maybe another section.
Poor guy.
It looks like another section got hit there.
He had a great summer with Canada at the U17 World Cup. 5 games played, 6 boards, 6 points, and an assist is what he averaged for that squad. So exposure on the international stage for Asari, who misses the first free throw.
We're also seeing some fast substitutions here for Bella Vista Grind, where when you look at Royal Crown, they've only been doing maybe 1 to 2 substitutions on average, so they're really testing their starting 7 players and rotating in a quick rotation. So their athleticism is really being tested right now by their coach.
Loose ball picked up by the Grind out on the run. Asari finds a shooter in the corner. Contested well. The rebound put back up by Balaji Odorlino.
Jumping for the ball instead of box out. It's a theme here.
Hazy's shiftiness gets him down court and close to the basket, but they come up empty-handed. Grind a little out of sync, but Paul Asari has no one on him, so he takes it to the rack, trying to find something off the glass. Not there. Hazley into the front court. Time and space. Walking into a 3 off the mark.
Back and forth we
Here
go.
Comes Paul Asari. Two-handed jam blocked by the rim, but Hazley may have disrupted his grip on that ball.
I know we talked about that earlier, how you get everyone kind of hyped and then you just front out on the front edge of the rim, but it was a good play though. I think that was honestly the only option he had, and he was able to draw the foul.
He just had an 0 for 2 trip to the line, so smart play by Hazley. Get a hand on the ball. You know, if you get some of the arm, he's going back to the line, and where he hasn't been as effective.
Don't want to give him a dunk.
This time the first will fall. A 1 for 2 trip, 1 for 4 in the last 30 seconds from the free throw line was Asari, as Jordan Charles knocks down a mid-range shot, uses glass.
Charles can do it all.
I know he's making that look easy, but that's not an easy shot.
No.
He's drifting towards the baseline and yet finds time to get the right angle to bank it off and in. Like, that's not an easy play.
Cairo Perry trying to operate through contact. As Tolman Monroe swallows up the loose ball, uses glass. That doesn't go. Second chance opportunity, foul called.
Might be on Osarui. I have a feeling it is.
Nope, that's going to go on DeAndre. Nope, BJ Odorlino is who they're giving it on. I mean, it's kind of take your pick, I think, down there with that many bodies inside. Isaac Gonda checks back in. Paul Osari to the bench. This CIA Grind team only brought 9 players to dress for this tournament.
Yeah, it looks like they may have some injuries there.
I think some of these guys are CIA Nike.
The other team, yeah.
I think they all the CIA guys are all just kind of traveling together.
It's a family.
Hazley baseline out of bounds. Out on the run, the grind. It's a 3-on-1, keeping it the whole way. Up shot, blocked at the top.
Nice
by
D.
Bangu. Not giving up on the play. Sartaj Bangu. Jordan Charles has too much time and space. Decides to give it up to the wing shooter. And that's an offensive foul on BJ Oderlino.
It's a good call. A little aggressive there. You like it. You like to see him active on the offensive glass. Good box out there, and they got the foul against Team Red.
Hazley has a screen coming up from Ice Tolman Monroe. Picks it up. Ice Tolman Monroe now off the glass and in. That's the kind of connection you're looking for.
He bailed himself out, but again, he didn't hit Charles on that screen. He was there, and then as soon as he saw Charles kind of come into him, he faded and went to the net. I mean, it worked out for him getting out the basket, but it's those little things that if against a stronger form of defense, if Charles is going to do that on the next possession, it's not going to work.
Skyro Perry now. Hazley thought about it. Takes it to the rack now. Going for the left-handed finish. Doesn't get it to go. The grind. Slowing it down. Charles attacking baseline. Near side now. Robinson into the paint. Extra pass. And the foul's going to be charged to Perry. Yep.
Cairo a little overzealous there. Get back. Use your feet on defense. Don't reach.
Pair of substitutions for Royal Crown. Marcus Green checking back in alongside Mikhailo Lipka. Cairo Perry and Xavier Ice Tolman Monroe will head to the bench.
Quick substitution for Perry. I mean, it's hard when you're playing at such a high level. The smallest mistake you can get subbed off for, but I wouldn't take it as such a personal thing. Take it as your coach is giving you a second to understand what you did wrong, and then you can go back out there and not make the same mistake twice.
Charles there on the dish. My own. Can't get it to go. Charles gets the loose ball, puts it up. That misses everything. Fighting through some contact was Hazley, and the foul is going to be drawn on the hold. Bonus situation, 2:27 left in the second quarter. 34-32 in this back and forth affair. The Lions lead with Hazley at the free throw line.
As I said before, the defensive rebound is what's going to win you these games. Royal Crown getting away with a little bit in the game. They need to really shore that up, and that way they're going to be right there down the stretch. But they're looking all right. They got a 3-point lead, possibly 4.
And it is a 4-point lead now for the Lions. Cairo Perry back in for Green.
It's interesting. We talk about the mental toughness, and you look on the presence that we have for Charles. Charles was kind of just talking a little bit to Walters. I guess they obviously know each other.
They know each other, yes.
Circuits.
Canada lead.
So Bella
played.
Vista's coach nipped that in the butt right away. He said, "We're not talking to him right now." So, I mean, hey, you're not friends on the floor. There's no friends when you're playing, right? So
that was a few years ago, yes, for sure.
Charles collects a loose ball, taking it the whole way, off glass and in.
He's so tough.
Afili out in transition. Foul's going to be called.
That's great that you noticed that coach cut that off. Like, hey, we're here to win this game. One of the coaches right there talking to DeAndre Grant Audu, good young player. Father Henry Carr back in the day. He's coaching now. Good to see he's there giving back to the young rising players.
Tie game, 37-37, under 2 remaining in the opening half.
Turnover.
Perry down low to Walters. That one not going to go. A lot of presence there by the 2 grind players, affecting that shot into the paint. Isaac gone with the 2-handed jam. Beautiful pass from Lyris Robinson. Hazley into the paint, kicks it back out. It's Walters back inside. Left-handed scoop, no. Hazley's there.
How's your point guard?
He's doing everything.
Point guard inside.
Point guard, shooting guard, center, power forward. He's positionless.
He is such a basketball player. That's what he is. He finds a way to get buckets. He knows when, as a PG, to get in there and mix it up inside.
And here taking on the challenge of guarding Charles My own from deep. No. Hazley with the defensive rebound. It's a 1-on-4. Hazley keeps, shows off some handles, elevates. No. Second chance. No. Third chance. No. Gonda with the block. Here's Charles. He's going to fake the pull-up, move inside, floating from left to right. Last touched by CAA, grind out of bounds. We are under 1 minute remaining in this 12 o'clock tip-off here at the Toronto Pan Am Center. 39-39 is the score. A couple of lead changes, but no one's really been able to pull away with it.
This is as close of a game as I was expecting it to be quite honest. And it's because both teams make mistakes, but then they're able to make those corrections on the next transition down. So there's nothing that I can say that, oh, they are constantly doing the same thing on every offensive or defensive rotation. It's they have the ability and the skill level that honestly trickles down from the coaching staff down to the players of the ability to self-correct on the fly. And we're seeing both teams have the ability to do that. And also, as we've been mentioning all game, they have such strong point guards that are able to have such a solid presence on all aspects of the court that they're able to cover the holes of their teammates, which is it's pretty fascinating to watch.
Very quick, as you said, like, you know, they make a mistake, but the ability for them to correct it is there, and the trust, I think, that these coaches have in their point guard. I mean, it's like having a coach on the floor.
Yeah.
And you talk about Hazley and Charles, and the rest of the guys feed off of it as well. So two well-honed teams, professional outfits here, you know, Canada versus U.S. A little mix of Canadians in there, of course, on the CIA teams, but it's great to see where Canada basketball is and the pool, the player pool in the next 5 to 10 years for Team Canada. Oh my goodness, who's going to make that decision on those teams?
Very tough. Back cut. He elevates and throws it down.
He can do that. He's one of the best dunkers we have in the country. Ooh.
Here's Hamilton, a little shifty into the paint, trying to turn around and get some space. Cut by Charles, well-timed pass.
Cutting off the ball as a point guard.
Hazley, and that ball ripped out of his hands by Isaac Gonda. Charles on the far side. Are the Grind going to hold for the last shot? It definitely appears that way. 10 seconds left in the second quarter. We are tied at 41. Jordan Charles around the screen. Hamilton fakes the pass, moves inside. Charles is there to get the loose ball. And that's an out of bounds call. Should we mark that one down? I don't know. That's a tough one.
A little push?
I'd say so.
All right, we're counting.
Yeah, I'd say so.
6 total out of bounds calls, 3 on each side. 1.1 left here. Is there enough time to get a touchdown pass and a quick shot? Hazley's going to cut from the near side to the far side, it appears.
I'd go to Perry on this one if we had the option, to be quite honest.
Afili accepts the pass, and that's how the first half comes to an end, all knotted at 41. A fresh set of minutes on the other side. Stick with us here at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center for the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. Second half action coming up in just 10 minutes' time. Welcome back inside the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center here in Scarborough. J.J. Evison, Drew Ebanks, and Sydney Holmes on the call. We're knotted at 41. The Royal Crown Lions against the CIA Grind team. It's a Jordan Charles versus Justice Hazley battle. Both players have 10. Joining them in that regard is DeAndre Hamilton, number 22 in red, with 10 of his own. So a couple of players with 10 points, but it's the big man, number 1 here, playing defense. Paul Osari, just 5 points in the game, hasn't really found his footing quite yet.
Yeah, Paul's got to get it going. I'd like to see him closer to the hoop, really getting down low right now, and then establish a little bit of a further game. I think he's kind of floating on the outside. He needs to get in there and bang and really get to the hoop. But hey, he's got an opponent there. You see them jawing right there, going at each other.
But that's what I like to see. I like to see that.
Deep three, Hazley, that's short-rimmed. Tapped into the hands of Bangu, who gets hit in the back of the head as he goes up for a second chance opportunity.
And then gets hit by
his own player, Afili, comes in.
Oh, man, he's a Tylenol.
Who says basketball's not physical?
They're liars. if anybody looks at you and says basketball is not a physical sport, they have not witnessed basketball being played at such a high level.
I play co-ed on Sundays, and even that's physical.
Yep. As I've said to people, I'm not condoning, but I was a very physical player in my day. 9 times out of 10 it's because I had to be given my height, but sometimes all it takes is just knocking somebody a little bit. They'll be more hesitant to set a screen on you, right? Exactly. It's 90% of doing it is not to hurt the other person. It's a mental instinct to do it so that way the defender who's guarding you is going to second if they're going to guard you as heavily again, right? Like you just got.
We spoke about the exact thing a couple weekends ago at one of our circuits. It's like you have to establish, even if you're a slim player, you've got to establish a physicality that is going to send a message to your opponent, you know, whether it's your specific player that you're going up against or the other team, to set the trend.
More in-game coaching here, this time for Paul Osari, as he heads over to the sideline to have a conversation with the assistant coach of the CIA Grind. At the free throw line is Jules Asim. Missing on the first, but a chance to tie it here at 42. Tickles the twine, and we are knotted at 42. Just 30 seconds into this second half. Hazley over the timeline. Keeps, turns the corner, turns on the Jets. Floater, tries to use glass, not there.
Yeah, both teams trying to figure it out right now early on, third quarter. Let's see who kind of takes control. Robinson
moving downhill. He'll go to the free throw line. And again, this Grind team won their game yesterday, 107-75 against Houghton Prep. They shot 20 more free throws than Houghton did. So they know how to get to the line, and they know, you know, going downhill, absorbing that contact is a recipe for success for them.
Go ahead.
I understand playing a hard man defense, but for Perry and Isoma Monroe, they need to, because of their height, they need to naturally be able to fall back into that help position. Because they were delayed is the reason why we see 2 shots right now for Bella Vista. You need to be able to play hard on your defender, but also be able to slip back into that help when necessary.
Robinson played well yesterday. I mean, his dad I know very well, Jerome Robinson. Bradley was a big-time player, Team Canada as well. And he had, I believe, 29 or 30 points to be player of the game yesterday. Pure scorer, there he is with the rebound. People in Canada may not be familiar with Robinson. He's been this gracious.
Paul Osari trying to rip the rim off the backboard. Don't let him get a dunk. Didn't you say in the first half, don't let him get a dunk?
Don't let him go off, because once he goes off, it's a wrap.
Jeez Louise, that looked like, you know, that stretch dunk, Michael Jordan in the Looney Tunes movie?
I'm very happy because I see my guy Mike, the machine,
Michael Torres down there.
He's got that great vantage point.
Afili with the corner 3 at the after.
Another thing talking about bench presence, though, as soon as that dunk was made, the Bella Vista coach was like, why are you still sitting? He was telling his teammate to stand up. Like, when your teammate does as aggressive as a dunk as you see, you got to lift them up. Hello, give them their dues when it's necessary.
Definitely the play of the day so far. Rui gets it done. at the 10. Oh!
Blocked there by Ice Tolman Monroe or a Feely. 2 hands there. Not too sure who got that one.
The game's starting to pick up, guys. The energy levels are going up as we speak. That dunk.
The power. That's one of those things. I know you're taught to like stand in front of a play and get the contact. I'm getting out of the way.
No.
I'm not standing in front of anywhere near that.
Step back 3, in and out, no good for Mayom. Hazley, head up, working on Charles, into the corner. Bangu back to Hazley. 3, no. Rebounded, Osari.
Taking a charge against PO could be detrimental to your health.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Robinson pulls it back out.
Hazley seems to be getting a little bit frustrated there talking to his team on defense.
Robinson downhill, gets around the defense of Hazley, ignores the screen and finds his own lane. And a nice finish.
Robinson can do it all. You could see there, crafty right to the hole, gets the bucket.
Bangu 3 is good. Assist, a Feely.
Bangu.
Jordan Charles was looking backdoor for Mayom. Just a shade off.
Head up though, looking for a play, looking to make a play.
Well, that's what you love about Hazley and Charles is they get the ball and then their heads up immediately. Who's open? Where am I going? What's the first read? All the while pushing the pace, right? Nice swat there.
Poke by Charles.
Charles out. Mayom, and there's the alley-oop. Not a strong slam, but a pretty play and a pretty pass from Jordan Charles.
We knew Charles was going to come into this game and be a playmaker, but you see Charles, you see Mayom, you see Hamilton. We're mentioning their names just as consistently as we're mentioning Charles, but he's bringing that out of them. He's giving them the ability of being such a strong playmaker that he is to get them into certain positions where they're shining. And it's not to mention that, yes, Charles is a leader, but with his leading capabilities, he's allowing everybody else to kind of rise with him.
Hazley has it on the sideline in the backcourt. Trying to fight through some contact. Mayom gets 2 fouls in a matter of 1 second. And that's on the inbound, which brings the ball into the front court.
And here, right now, Hazley getting a little bit frustrated on defense and offense. It seems like the players are kind of focusing on the wrong things and not really getting to the spots that they need to be able to get to.
There's Tolman Monroe into the corner. Yana Feely takes a beat, then throws up the 3. Cairo Perry can't put back the rebound. 2-on-1, watch out, Paul Osari. Standing in the way was Hazley, and Osari did not expect him to stand his ground.
I think Osari should have made a decision a lot sooner than what he did. You either need to commit in addition to Charles or commit and go straight up, because with his indecision, and he slowed down a little bit, which gave Hazley the opportunity to get in position to get that charge off.
P.O. just tapped his chest and said, my bad on that.
And that'll come with time, right? He's still young. He's a 2027, so in his sophomore year here, he's got time to develop that kill attitude.
He's one of Canadians, our phenoms that are coming up in the Canadian system, obviously. Going to be a national team player, a senior national team in the future. And just, you know, the future's bright for this country. Look at all the players that you can see on both of these teams that are bringing the level of play up.
We got a technical foul call, I believe.
That's right. Technical foul is going to go on number 11 in white, Sartaj Bangu. So Jordan Charles will head down the court and shoot the technical free throw. And Bangu's looking for an explanation.
I heard something about the ref saying that he can't say that, so it's probably something that he had said.
Well, Mike DeGiorgio's getting the explanation now as Charles is at the line. That bounces in. The lead's up to 3 now for Grind. And now Bangu will go shoot 2 the other way.
I know we mentioned it at the half, but Royal Crown, this season at least, has not been tested as heavily as they're being tested by Bella Vista Grind right now. And it's because they have such strong players at their disposal on both teams that it's the competition, it's just demanding more of a higher level from both teams at this point.
Well, they breezed through their games in the fall showcase. They opened the season with a big win over Orangeville, at Orangeville. they seem to be positioning themselves as the team to beat in the OSBA this season. So Bangu's going to head to the bench. Walters heads in. He had a monster jam in the first half as well. Love to see him get up again.
Just brings a grit and toughness to this team for this season.
The three is up, and that rims out. Hazley with the rebound and ahead, pushing the pace. Fading to the corner, double team. Gives it up to a Feely. Top side, Walters. Tries to attack. Corner shot. Rebound grind. Hamilton into the corner now. Charles. Working baseline on Hazley. Nothing's there, so he kicks it back out. Playing the 1-2 game with the sim into the paint. No. Walters there standing his ground.
Great D.
Hazley walks into a three. That's off the mark. Mayom. Collects the rebound.
A bit rushed there for Hazley. We're not used to seeing him play at such like a rushed mentality. I would say he did have an extra second on that one to compose himself before he shot the ball.
Charles around the screen. Inside the three-point line, no. Hazley comes away with the rebound. Another defensive rebound for Hazley. Yana Feely, corner three, no.
Both teams a little bit cold from the floor.
Jordan Charles out of bounds.
Here we go. What are we at?
7 total, 4 out of bounds for the grind, 3 for the Lions. Court awareness continues to be part of the story here at the Toronto Pan Am Center. In this, the second of 6 games on the slate today for the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase.
Nice.
Ice Tolman Monroe.
Ooh,
3 seconds and another turnover for the Lions.
Yeah, a lot of unforced turnovers today. I think obviously it's early in the season. Teams are a little out of sync at this point in the season.
Mari Upshaw working into the middle of the floor. At the elbow, turns around, Paul Osari. Stepping through. No good. Ice Tolman Monroe with the rebound. Inside, 1-2, stepping off the glass. Good finish for Ice Tolman Monroe.
Playing a solid game. He's doing what he has to do. More than anything, he's just being big, especially inside on the defensive glass.
Mayom 3 off the mark. A Feely. Last touched by CIA Grind. The Lions will retain possession. Pair of substitutions. Foul's going to be the call before the out of bounds. So Yana Feely at the free throw line. Lions lead by 1. 3:53 remaining in the third quarter.
Charles. Mr. Hantamakos is in the building. Fort Erie is here. There's Tristan Beckford, another big-time player.
Malik Giuseppe Kitson I see there
Yes.
as well. Yana Feely brings the lead up to 2 for the Lions.
Oh, let him play.
Walters called on the block, a little body there. Burst of speed from DeAndre Hamilton, a little too much to handle.
I think that was just some strong physical basketball. You know, I mean, I know JJ and you mentioned it, Drew, as well. Like, play physical. You got to allow the guys to be able to bang it out with each other and then kind of call fouls when necessary.
Hamilton looking for the roller. Kick back out, Upshaw. Hamilton's in the corner, gets his defender in the air. Sidestep 3 off the front of the iron, rebounded a Feely.
Oh, nice steal.
Ill-advised pass. Hamilton's there. It's a 1-on-2, waiting for some teammates. 360, and he'll go to the free throw line. Walters gets his second foul in the matter of 30 seconds.
You know, that previous play, I like the fake Hamilton gave, but I didn't think he needed a 3 there.
No.
I think he could have stepped in and taken the jump shot. The game is so 3-point focused now. It takes away from, I think, a lot of, you know, positive plays or better percentage shots because he had his mindset. I'm going to shoot a three if I have to fake, step back, whatever. But the mid-range was right there, and he didn't want to take it.
Well, when you're stepping to your left, too, you're already a little off balance when you're going up for your shot. If you're stepping forward, you're coming into that 2-foot plant position, one dribble, and you get more of an effective shot from that.
Just little things.
Hazley showing off some handles just inside the three-point line. Tickles the twine. Justice Hazley taking things into his own hands.
Point guard that could do that. Score from any level. Hard to find.
Upshaw thought about it. Gives it back to Hamilton now. Gonda off the back of the iron of Feely collects the garbage.
Great rebound there.
Out of bounds again.
That one
TJ Richards with an out of bounds called on him.
Do you think they got to change the colors here? Do you think would a dark, like a black or blue,
give me a
would
black
that
or a
make a
navy
difference,
blue?
you think?
I think it might.
It's really taken away from the game and the flow.
We've also got 6 volleyball court lines encroaching on the basketball court as well.
I've always thought, especially as a player, when you grow up and you play in gyms that have a multi-purpose, like for badminton, basketball,
I think those are
volleyball.
pickleball, no?
Pickleball now.
I think it's pickleball now, yeah.
The thing is that sometimes you focus so much on what lines are actually the ones that are in play that you just forget and you just mindlessly step out of bounds. But one of the struggles now with multiple different sports being played on the same court.
Upshaw is at the line. The first is good. And I thought that tonight's matchup at 6 o'clock between CIA Nike and William Academy was going to be one of the marquee matchups. This one's showing it's just as good, just as entertaining, and it's Justice Hazley moving downhill.
That was a great line.
Thank you.
Rhymed quite well. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hazley takes the handoff, pops the three off the iron, right into the hands of Walters, who heads back inside.
Beautiful take. And good patience, too, to kind of switch it.
Foul's going to go on B.J. Odarlino.
Shout out my man Adrian Fenty in the building. A good business partner, Hoop Dreams, is in the house. We got a lot of media in here.
A lot of media.
I'm glad, because I love it when you encourage it. I always say to the OSBA, like, get all these guys in here, young people, you know, talking about the game, you know, filming the game and putting those highlights out. This is how we grow the game and let people know these events are happening in the city. Nice crowd here. You know it's going to continue to grow as well.
So with how the internet's been going nowadays, too, all it takes is one viral dunk or one viral moment that allows people who didn't know your name before to start to hear it more now. So the fact that you don't even have to worry about it, you're like, if I have a good dunk, I know someone has it and someone's going to post about it. It helps their career, honestly.
Oh, yeah, like the Malcolm dunk, you know that's going to be featured, and Osarui's dunk as well. That's going to be, you know, on the game tape for sure. So this is where, you know, one big moment can change your whole trajectory. Oh, my goodness.
Count it again.
This is getting depressing, eh? Osarui now stepping out of bounds. He was looking to turn the corner and head right.
When you got to do the slash, you know it's bad. That's not turnovers. Like, that's not just a regular straight turnover.
No,
this is just stepping out of bounds. Like, that is crazy when you think of it. My goodness!
Cairo Perry elevating above everybody else on the nice pass from Lipka. Gonda with the answer on the other end. Beautiful find from Osarui. So good passing on display here in a couple of offensive possessions, keeping this game tight.
Perry hit the defender, paused for a second, and bang!
That stare down afterwards, too. That was...
And I look at my guy, AR, the playmaker right there. Andrew, he has got that highlight. I saw him. You're going to see that later, folks. Nice D here.
Richards over the timeline, hands it off, Lipka.
The great thing about Royal Crown is when Justice is out, they can go to TJ, and he's pretty effective as well.
Yes.
Green from 3-0. Lipka corrals the rebound. Second chance opportunity. Cairo Perry just went up strong. Goes up again, up and under. No. Green attacked from behind. And Marcus Green will head to the free throw line for 2.
you know the history of Perry and Green, they're coming out of the East Prep kind of organization, DK Dragons, out in the east end of Durham, Oshawa and Clarington further out. Those two have been friends and teammates for quite a while, so it's good to see them back together at Royal Crown. And you know, Marcus, his body has always been kind of, you know, big and stocky, but now you see he's really trimming down and he's effective. His body's like really looking good for the next level.
So it's about getting better every single day, right? And if that's going into the weight room or getting shots up, just doing something to make yourself better. Heads up the whole way. Walters moving downhill. No one's going to pick him up, so he's going to take it to the rack. Misses, gets his own rebound, and gets it through for two. 62-57 is the score here, under a minute remaining in the third quarter, from the 12 o'clock tip-off between CIA Grind and Royal Crown Lions.
He get his own rebound there.
And there were 3 red jerseys underneath, too. Gonda pulls the trigger from 3. Front iron, no. Walters.
Great box out by Marcus
Fantastic.
Green on Osuri there.
And again, no one picks up Walters. Cairo Perry with the tip in.
No box out there leads to a bucket.
And it was an easy touch. Like, he didn't even have to like lay up or anything. He just touched it back.
Green and Osarui going to be called for the double foul.
You see, Paul, he's got to realize, you know, that's a lesser player in Green. He's going to try to bait you into that. You have to be stronger mentally and understand that. Walk away, get off of that confrontation.
Exactly. He was getting into it a little bit earlier with Iceland Monroe as well, so we already know mentally he's like, I'm getting
He's
challenged.
hot, yeah.
So if you keep pushing him, like, because as we saw too, it was a full 2-hand push. So the fact that he got the double foul was kind of like gave him a bit of a break there, but he's already getting annoyed. So they're right there.
Oh.
And they got him. Moving screen, I believe.
It's going to be yeah.
Offensive something.
And he wants to check himself out, it looks like right now. He's not too sure. Walking to the bench with his hands up.
I think he's got 5, JJ.
They're going to keep him in.
He's going to have to come out. I mean, you got another quarter to go. I don't think they can risk it.
Well, up and off the bench now.
He's frustrated. You can visibly see that he's frustrated right now.
Right? Well, they say sports is what? 90% physical, the other half is mental. And this is part of growth. You have to learn to live with the calls going against you, learn to live with having a bad game, and block it out for the final 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Hazley over the timeline.
He's frustrated right now. He's not been able to get into his comfort zone.
Hazley showing off his bag of handles. Jordan Charles going for the strip. Instead, Walters gets it, kicks it out to nobody, and that's going to end the third quarter, 64-57. It's a 7-point lead for the Lions, as we'll step aside for a short break and come back with fourth quarter action here at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center. You're watching the Jamal Murray Homecoming Showcase. It's a very different situation for the CIA Grind team. Yesterday, they won their game over Hodan Prep 107-75. Here they trail by 7 with 10 minutes left. And one of their biggest players, Paul Osarui, on the bench to start the fourth quarter. 5 fouls for him. Jordan Charles comes off the give and go, misses everything, and there's going to be contact on the arm. That sends Charles to the free throw line to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's obvious, you know. Maybe a little late, but got it. Got it right.
And that shot from Jordan Charles was nowhere near the basket, which is kind of a sign that there must have been contact, because he's been all around that hoop today and typically, you know, in a 20-plus point performer. Missed the first, but the second off the back of the iron and through. Hazley picked up deep in his own backcourt by Lyris Robinson, and there's going to be a hold. And this matchup we've been watching and highlighted off the top between Jordan Charles and Justice Hazley has really been something to watch all
They're both
game.
very familiar with each other. And, you know, Jordan's not, you know, letting anything go by him. He's going to challenge and play hard against Hazley.
Nice Tolman and Monroe at the top. Keeps. Hands off to Green. Green working into the paint, left-handed. Finishing right, no. Rebound by Asim. And now things are getting chippy down low again.
Marcus.
I like it.
I love it. Marcus is like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't even try to punk me. I may be shorter than you, but don't be trying to. You see my body?
I think the best is, too, is that he doesn't even have to say much. He just looks at you. You kind of just already know.
I don't think he said a word.
No, he just looked at him.
Charles uses the screen for Asim, pulls up from the elbow. That's off the front of the iron into the hands of Hazley, who's quickly into the front court. Looking for the lob for Afili. And Charles contested that, but Jan Afili almost brought the house down here at the Toronto Pan Am Center. And credit Charles for getting up and actually contesting that shot.
Good on him for actually, like, because either way, it's either going to miss and you're going to draw the foul, or you're going to get postered completely, but it was a good bet on his part.
Sometimes you get postered. It is what it is. If you're not challenging, you're not playing the game. Bottom line.
I've always said, too, even if you get postered, you're on there somewhere. It's either you're getting postered, getting dunked on, or getting dunked. So it's just, either way, you're making the moment.
Hey, LeBron got postered well. He tried to scrub it, but
Remember that
even in the Olympics, though, didn't he get one?
Yep.
He took one. He tried to take a charge, right?
And then no one, but you never see those again.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
It's always the ones that disappear.
You know.
you remember the Anthony Edwards over Yuta Watanabe when he was
that
a
was
Raptor?
nasty.
Ooh.
That was nasty. I think that may have sent Utah out of the NBA.
Whoa. Just a quick spurt of music here to wake everybody up.
I'm awake.
Getting us going, I guess.
The Lions lead by 5 as we approach 8 minutes and 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Another foul.
Where did that music come from?
Lyris
Somebody's mad in the DJ booth.
Having a quick look around, not too sure where that came from.
AB has no idea.
It's a mystery.
Nobody knows what's going on.
As Tolman Monroe accepts the inbound pass, the handoff now to Mayo. Into the corner. Green, feet set, shot up, too strong.
I don't know if they want that.
Running the court, Mayom. Back up top, Hamilton.
Almost a headshot there for Mayom.
Yeah.
I think he expected the defender to be a bit taller, I think, but
He got lucky.
yeah.
DeAndre Hamilton attacks baseline, elevates, uses the glass, and gets it through. Flexing on him.
That's tough.
Lyris Robinson, the Texas native, trying to come up with a strip on the inbound pass.
One thing about Robinson is he's everywhere. Like, he's so active. He does exactly what you need. He could score lights out, but the thing that's amazing, he does the little things, and this is what's going to, you know, make him effective at the next level, because coaches want guys that you don't have to tell him to play D.
Exactly.
Look at him. His eyes are up. You know what I mean? He's doing what he has to do. Look, he's in the middle.
DeAndre Hamilton called for the foul. Tried to go for the swipe.
So we go from no music to where I think I'm in a club right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it's just me. I'm not the biggest fan.
I don't mind it
Quiet.
during a game, but low, and
Yeah.
then maybe during timeouts.
But I also don't think anybody knows who's playing it or where it's coming from is the problem.
Just got to get the level right. That's it. Just got to get the level right.
Because even the refs are looking at each other like, we can't hear anything.
A little lower, but
Okay, there we go.
Sounds brought to you by Burma today
Okay.
here in the gymnasium.
Okay.
where is he? That's a good question. I know usually
Silent.
Shooting Stars games, the DJ's right there on the
Yes, you
baseline
can see.
where the Royal Crown is going. Burma,
Travel.
where are you, Burma?
We'll try and get eyes on Burma, DJ Burma, in just a second. Traveling was like Tolman Monroe coughing up the ball.
And the coach said it. He was on his feet. He said, don't be so quick to just put the ball down and go. Take a second look and have that outlet pass, because if he would have taken a second, I told him Monroe would have seen that there was a defender right in front of him.
Offensive foul again.
The push off of the screen is really handcuffing the CIA grind team from coming back. I mean, it's a 3-point game, but they've had a couple of opportunities to get back to a tie game, if not take the lead. It just hasn't really come to fruition as Hazley steps into a three off the backboard.
Did he call it?
I don't think he called bank. I don't know if it counts.
I don't think he called it, but
If we want to apply street rules, I don't think that counts.
I'll take it.
Charles tries to turn the corner. Doesn't get space. So kicks it back out. Hamilton loses the ball. Hazley, bounce pass, Cameo. Down with one hand.
Hey?
He says, everyone's dunking. Let me get in on the party.
I wasn't ready for that. That's nice. I wasn't ready for that.
Charles.
Holy. Oh, you
The
push
top.
the big man off like that.
Here's Hazley.
Oh, yeah.
Alley-oop.
Yes. Gracious.
Jan Afili throwing it down with ferocity, causing a grind timeout. It's a 10-point lead for the Royal Crown Lions. Every player, all 15 Lions off the bench to see Jan Afili come back, giving him his props.
That was a quick 10-point lead. This game has been neck and neck until the fourth quarter, and Royal Crown have ever so slightly been capitalizing on Belvis's mistakes, and they're doing it with style. I mean, they're doing it with clean style, and as we've known him to do, Hazley is just consistent with the logs. He knows where to put it, he knows where to go, and it's fantastic to see.
What is that we said at the showcase tournament? Death, taxes, and a lob from Justice Hazley.
Yes, 3 things you can really count on.
Yeah, he's been playing great. He's been finding guys. He's setting the pace, as you said. You know, really a guy that's the head of the snake here for Royal Crown. You know, extension of the coach, Mike Giorgio, on the bench. Let's see how CIA responds to this. 7 minutes to go, lots of time. We'll see how they come back. But hey, getting a head top like that, man, oh man.
If Royal Crown are able to hold on and come away with the victory, they would be the first Canadian franchise to beat one of these Kenyan international CIA teams who've come here from Phoenix, Arizona. Not only that, but they're 2-0 in regular season play already in the OSBA Men's East Division, plus 28 in both those games. So they are, you know, the cream of the crop when it comes to team basketball here.
And Hillcrest won their game too yesterday. So Canada, we need to get some victories here, folks.
Hillcrest over St. Jude's. That was a 131-83 victory. Hillcrest put up one of the best offensive games that this tournament has seen so far. Unable to finish that time, Paul Osarui. Come back on defense. Afili, no, that lob a little off ahead of everybody else.
Look at that defense.
Mayo. It's a 4-on-1. Jordan Charles is going to see that one through with an easy lay-in.
Okay, now it's a key. Royal Crown cannot get rushed here. They need to just slow down. Don't let CIA try to dictate the pace.
Nice Tolman Monroe. Afili from the corner. No.
But the pressure of Cairo there forces the ball out off of DeAndre.
They called a timeout, Royal Crown. We saw them switch actually into a bit of a zone, which is a smart play from Royal Crown, because I think that coming up, Bella Vista was expecting like a heavy pressed man defense. So to fall back into a zone allows them to just think on their feet and maybe readjust their offense a little bit.
Well, it's always good when you can show your opponent a different defensive look, right? Maybe one possession it's zone, and then it's man, and then it's hybrid, and then you're constantly changing the thought process of your opponent, putting them in uncomfortable situations.
Chess match, right? In the game, chess match, both coaches, both point guards, reading what the other team's doing and making adjustments on the fly. Those are good coaches. When you get that, and good organizations that can react on the fly, as you said.
So as we said, there are 6 games on the slate today. Coming up next, Hillcrest versus Fort Erie Red. Then at 4 o'clock, it's Orangeville Prep versus Uchenna. 6 o'clock is the marquee matchup, CIA Nike versus William Academy. Ethiosa Oliogu, one of those guys who's going to be on a lot of highlight reels after this weekend. And then finally, 8 o'clock tip-off, Crestwood Prep taking on Orangeville Academy. 6:13 remaining. 8-point game in favor of the Lions over CIA Bella Vista Grind. Hazley has it baseline. Oh, the DJ is up.
Oh, he's behind the OBA sign up there.
On the track.
Oh, there you go.
Which is interesting. The refs actually waited for him to cut the music to start the play. So.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Usually it's instinctual for the DJ to kind of cut it once the ball's in play, but they asked him to cut it before the ball was in play.
Hazley has it near the timeline. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Working around the screen. Continues to his right. Wide open, Cairo Perry. 3. Wow. Bucket.
Bit of a stare down for the bench there by Perry.
Cairo showing some versatility there. He's normally down low on the block, and for him to be able to step out and hit that shows a lot of development in his game.
Shooter in the corner the other way, wide open. A Feely with the rebound. Picks up the rock in the corner. Hazley now, near side. That pass intended for Mikhailo Lipka, who wasn't heading to the basket instead of setting a back screen. Corner shooter.
He stopped running. He was there and Hazley saw him, but he stopped and he held back.
It's 11-point lead now for the Lions. Jordan Charles working on Hazley. Dribble, corner. Back pass, Charles. Time and space. Shot is up. Shot is good.
What a sidestep dribble. Pulls the shot, hits it. His versatility, he can do it inside and from the three-point line.
Here he is out on the run. Hazley trying to trace him down. And Charles just lays it in for another 4 straight points for Jordan Charles, bringing this game to a 6-point game.
Ooh.
That's a lot of body that time. Lyris Robinson hitting Justice Hazley.
Trying to make an effort there on defense for CIA. They're want back in this game. And again, the key for Royal Crown is just the patience and not getting rushed and hurried in how they want to play the game down the stretch.
The Lions will head to the free throw line from here on out. They are now in the bonus, so CIA Bella Vista Grind not playing with the dedication to playing clean, and they're reaching in and they're taking fouls, down away from their own basket.
They're trying to get back in it, and that sometimes causes fouls and bad plays.
I feel like I'm missing the music now that it's not on.
Where's the music now?
No, it's almost too silent.
I don't mind, you play it low during the game. This is more of a showcase kind of event.
Exactly.
It's not a serious, say, your league, prep game or yeah.
Osarui from the free throw line off the backboard. No, the bank is closed for him today. Bangu.
Good pressure.
Behind the back. Bangu finds a lane. Tough take. Tough make.
Beautiful basketball. Gotta love that. Behind the back dribble twice and just gets it to the hole and scores. That's a beautiful play.
Charles working on Perry. Kicks it out. Near side, Hamilton working on Hazley now. Tries baseline, nothing there. Quick pass. Osarui has one to beat. He's got the size advantage. He goes up. Wedgie on a Sunday at a showcase.
Dang.
He's frustrated today.
Well, you're not always going to have the best game. You got to learn how to work through adversity.
His body language, though, he's got to like really shore it up. Like, yeah, you're having a tough game, but you don't want coach to see that that's the way you're doing it. Hey, you could be effective defensively. You could be effective on the glass, you know, and then you'll get in that rhythm. But he's got to keep his body language positive out there.
Perry back to Hazley. Bottoms it.
This kid can do it all.
Gave it up, he relocated, got it back in motion.
Just like that, it's a 13-point lead.
3.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Jordan Charles with a step back three off the front of the iron. Cairo Perry collects the rebound. Bangu ahead of everybody, going up for the two-handed finish.
And Bangu with the
He held on to the rim, and that's his second technical foul.
I don't know. Guys were around. He's out then.
Yeah.
Guys were around. I don't know if I'd call that.
No.
He may have pulled up a little bit, but if it is his second.
I think the problem is that if you're going to call things like that, you have to kind of distinguish where the line is. Because if you're going to hang onto the rim long here, then what's to say when you stare down a player that's not also like a technical foul for what, intimidation or like over acceleration? So I think it's hard when you make calls like that to kind of define where the line is.
If there was nobody around him, I could see for sure, but you never know, right?
There was a full team. It's kind of hard to tell.
So Kimani Walters is going to check in. That's the end of the day for Sartaj Bangu. Remember, he had that technical foul from the first half for talking to his opponent. Get that one for hanging on the rim. Nothing you could do in that situation except just kind of accept what has been made as the call by the officials and become a great teammate for the rest of this game.
He's done. He's finding a chair. He can't even sit on the bench.
84-70. It's his 14-point lead. Just under 3.5 remaining. Can the grind figure out a way to stop this offense from the Lions and get back into this one? Maybe bring it to within 6 by the 1-minute mark. We shall see. Jordan Charles dancing over the timeline, working to his right. Kicks it over. And gets it right back. Pulls it from 3 in rhythm. Wow. Yes.
That's beautiful. You see 2 point guards here that can get it done from beyond the arc. It's great to see.
Picks up the dribble. Walters. Ice Tolman Monroe and him playing give and go now. Far side. Feely. Hazley with the 3. No.
Solid grab.
Ice Tolman Monroe gets the rebound.
He's got to be stronger.
Ravels.
He's got to be stronger. At that size, he cannot get a rebound and the defender push him off his balance. That's one thing he's going to have to work on, is that lower body strength.
We talked about Green too, and that was one of his assets in this game, is his strength. Once he has that ball, nobody's knocking him off of anything. So I think that's something that Ice Tolman Monroe could just adopt to his game. That would make him way better than what he's performing at right now.
Isaac Gonda, 3 off the mark. Walters behind the back. Hazley caught down the backboard and through.
It was crazy.
Charles step in 3, fouled by Yana Feely. So Charles to the free throw line for 3.
That's one of the best plays that I've seen in a long time. Let's take a look at that replay. I don't know how he caught it. Oh my goodness.
His body contorted in a way that makes my back hurt.
We got on-point instant replay right here. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That was a great play. You heard it in the crowd too.
Kimani Walters traipsing down the court behind the back, has Hazley ahead of him. The pass is off the mark, but Hazley able to just turn his body, then find the backboard.
I love to how Walters apologized. He's like, sorry, I gave it to you too low. He's like, it's all right, I still got it anyways.
Play when you scored the bucket, you're good.
Exactly. No need to be sorry. It makes a good highlight tape.
Jordan Charles makes it a 10-point game, 2:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Hazley fights off Charles to get that inbound pass, then gets fouled by Charles. This point guard battle has been everything you'd expect it to be, worth the price of admission for sure for just this game. Hazley will shoot 2. A rare miss from the charity stripe for Hazley. The second will fall. Charles uses the screen from Asim. Steps into a three. That one's off the mark. The Feely with the rebound. Walters, it's a 3-on-1. Cairo Perry misses the lob. Walters gets the rebound, goes up again. Second chance opportunity. Where are the red jerseys?
I understand there's a bit of a deficit, but it's in moments like that, the little things matter. You have to get the offensive board, or the defensive board, sorry, so that way the deficit doesn't get greater. And they're not out of it just yet. I mean, again, we're just under 2 minutes to play. Anything can happen.
It's close.
You got to give yourself the best opportunity, though, in order to kind of take the gap away.
It's close to being over because of those mental mistakes. They've got enough size on the floor to be much more physical of Team Red down on that defensive glass.
And they're just giving free free throws up to the Grind here, like giving them every opportunity to come back into this game. Under 2 minutes remaining, 12-point lead for the Lions, but those little mistakes could add up when that final buzzer sounds. Charles gets it in, moving forward. Finds a lane, blocked by Ice Tolman Monroe.
Great defense there by the big man. Charles thought he had it. Number 6 taking on number 6. Number 6 in white. Got the best of him there.
Trying to get some more scoring in the game as Amari Upshaw checks in. Isaac Gonda, the recipient of that pass. That was tapped over and back. So no backcourt violation. Charles into the corner. It's Upshaw. Back to Charles. Pulls it from 3 with a hand in the face. Coming in from the weak side. Unable to complete the play was BJ Odorlino. And now it's Hamilton on the near side. 22 seconds on the shot clock as it reset. Upshaw 3. No.
That was some great defense by Walters. I don't know if you saw that, right? You know, cutting off that three-point shot. That was beautiful.
CIA Grind come up empty-handed. Hazley finds Ice Tolman Monroe down low. Perry, Walters to Perry, and now they're just toying with the Grind squad, trying to eat as much time off that clock as possible. Hazley, nice pass, two-handed jam. Ice Tolman Monroe.
That was, I think, it's safe to say the bonus is kind of giving up a little bit. That was easy play right there.
Yeah, this game's a wrap. This game's a wrap. That was a great ball movement there by the whole team. That's culminating in that big dunk. Gotta love it. Canada is on the map, finally.
Absolutely right.
Barring a miracle.
Yes. I mean, hey, you know what? Crazier things have
Right.
happened. 54 seconds. You never know.
No Reggie Miller, though,
No.
on the floor, so, you know, good chance for Team White. He's definitely going to be an award winner.
Absolutely.
MVP of Team
I
Red,
think
for sure.
Justice Hazley will get the MVP nod for the Lions, and Jordan Charles should be player of the game for CIA Grind. And it's been a great battle between these 2 point guards. Shooting, ball handling, you know, assists, a couple of dunks, a couple of alley-oops.
I believe they're saying 6 fouls there for Charles.
Yeah, so he will foul out.
Great game for him.
Yeah, he heads to the bench to a round of applause from those in attendance on the bleachers on the far side as the gymnasium here at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center continues to fill up. 4 more games on the slate after this one. We are with you for the rest of them as Drew steps aside. We want to thank you so much for spending the morning with us and helping call these games and give us some insight into, you know, your experience following the youth here in Canada and Ontario with on-point basketball for the past 12 years. What an accomplishment.
It's been a great ride, and I'm looking forward to the next 12. Canada's on the rise. The world knows it, as you guys pointed out. We have players from all over the world coming here to play. Australia, Africa, South America, Europe, and even America coming up here to play in Canada. It's a hotbed of basketball, and shout out to OSBA for putting it on, and all the other leagues that are, you know, putting on for Canadian basketball. Obviously, shout out Jamal. Hopefully, we'll see him here later this afternoon. Great to be here with you guys. You guys are 2 of the best I've worked with, super professional, and you guys know your stuff. So, very bright future for both of you in this broadcast and media field.
Thank you so much, Drew. We appreciate the compliments. We're going to take them And I'm going to put that on my resume now. Drew Ebanks on Point Basketball says we are the future of broadcasting
Yeah,
in Canada
I've
basketball.
seen some, and I'm telling you, you guys are fantastic.
Well, game 2 comes to an end with the Royal Crown Lions defeating CIA Grind 93-78. So the Canadians come away with the victory, handing the Grind their first loss. It's a 1-1 trip to Canada for the CIA Grind. We'll step aside. The next tip-off coming at you in roughly 13 minutes. That's Hillcrest versus Fort Erie Red on Athlete Institute TV, brought to you by OSBA Productions.